Matthew McConaughey is prepared to get uncomfortable talking about race in America. The actor sat down with former NFL player Emmanuel Acho, am I saying that right? For his series, Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man. Take a look.
How can I do better as a human? How can I do better as a man? How can I do better as a white man?
Individually, you have to acknowledge implicit bias. You have to acknowledge that you'll see a black man and for whatever reason, you will view them more of a threat than you will a white man. Probably because society told you to.
What kind of uncomfortable conversation should we be having? And I hate being like, Al, you tell us the answer to this, but what are some conversations that you think would be helpful?
This is the first uncomfortable conversation.
Yeah, right, this one right now.
Honestly, Tori, it's having a brief conversation about everything. And that's really just not talking as much and listening and understanding. A lot of times when people are talking to you, they're not saying that you did this and this is the reason why these things are going on. They just want you to say, hey, this is the reason why things might appear like this to you, but this is how they really are. This is how my experience has been. I always make a gender thing, obviously, because I'm a black man. I think when a lot of men initially heard of like Me Too, they were like, oh, well, I can't say a woman's hair looks nice at work. First of all, you probably shouldn't. But even if you do, it's like, no. And then when you talk to women, they're like, let me tell you what my first boss did to me.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what my second manager said to me.
Yeah.
And then when you hear those things and you pick your jaw up off the floor, you're like, oh, I would never know this because I'm a man. And I think it works the same way between the different races.
And I think that's what happened with the Me Too movement. People were like, what? Everyone experienced the same thing? Being a man? I've never heard that. And that's why when this whole thing came out, they're like, white silence is violence. I'm not saying, I was confused, Al. I was confused. We had a conversation a week ago, me, you, and my wife, just talking, having a conversation. Al, I feel like I need to be listening more in this moment than talking. And I still think that is the case. I understand the silence of not sticking up for people or putting things down when someone uses a derogatory comment. That I understand. So I'm understanding more just having that conversation, Al. And I think more people need to have that conversation, like Matthew McConaughey, like me, you, and my wife. People need to have that conversation.
You know how people have that, Al and Jeff, is by traveling. You've always said that.
Yes.
If you can travel, you can just meet so many, you can just be in different people's shoes. It's just a different world out there.
It's unbelievable what traveling does for you, the different cultures, races, skin colors. It's not like a thing that you're afraid of. It's beautiful. What is the next experience of someone that I've never, ever talked to or experienced in my life? That's what I like thrive for. I still do. I can't wait to, Egypt's on my list. I've never been there. I want to go and talk to those people. I think it's amazing. So in this country, how we don't accept that and be like, oh, I can't wait to hear something new because they have this preconceived idea of who people are, and it's completely wrong. I'm sorry, I just get passionate about travel and what it teaches you and just talking to someone, how much of a difference it can make. Sorry, I went off on a tangent.
You didn't. Empathy here is the silver lining to all of this. Empathy can be a good thing, putting yourself in someone else's shoes.